I started out, it was like before social media and online, pre-MySpace. So back then it really was about, the only way young people could meet other young people was to go out, go out and actually speak to each other face to face and interact socially. It was still very much old school. You went to gigs to meet people. You went to gigs to meet other people like you, and stuff like that. How it's changed is, I would say, from 2003, when MySpace was invented and went live. That's when it changed. Everything changed because people ceased to rely on going out face to face because they could just talk online or send each other messages online. And when that started, that's when everything changed. So before you had, separate cultures, like metal kids went to metal shows, punk kids went to punk shows, indie kids went to indie shows. But then when everything went online, everything changed because they didn't need to, they didn't need to go out anymore. They don't need to meet people. So they almost like everything blurred into one. So there's not actual separate cultures, or old school cultures anymore. It all kind of died down. The old ways died down, I guess you could say. People are into everything now. People don't feel the need to have to dress up in a certain way because they don't really go out so they don't need to dress up. Yeah, like different youth cultures, like if you're into cars or whatever people used to do or your parents done, that is the old ways. And now I think there is sort of like cultures, but it's more based around social media. So now the new cultures are like selfies and YouTube sensations and bloggers, and I think that has replaced the original cultures. Because it is all based on, it's quite superficial, isn't it? And celebrity based and looks and it's, which was kind of maybe what the original subcultures rebelled against. You know what I mean? Like what the original punk rockers were rebelling against is now embraced by the new subcultures.
I think it is a little bit, in terms of some people still want to be within just one sort of culture, but I think most of all it seems to be merging a lot more.
I'd say the lines are less definite, like things are very much blurred these days. Before, certainly when I was growing up, there might have been a divide between alternate cultures, what might have been termed as goths, grebos, punks, things like that, and the more conventional mainstream cultures. Now there's a high level of integration, I'd say, and the boundaries are blurred, if not gone, right now.
I think the influx of social media has had a huge impact on it. The fact that on your Facebook you don't just have your friends, but people sometimes add people that they're not even friends with. They'll add everyone in their school year just because they have seen them, they know them, they're not even friends with them. And I think in doing that, you've slowly brought them all together, so it's easier to merge from one social group to the other. Whereas before, you would have no reason to talk to one of the football players or one of the chess players. But now, because you've seen their statuses on Facebook, you feel you've got some kind of connection with them. You know that he went clubbing this weekend or someone else went to a comic book convention this weekend, even if you've got nothing to do with them. So I think it is easier to merge with those groups now.
So people will say that they are part of a particular subculture without understanding what that subculture is really about. And so that it's sort of taken on a more superficial role, I think. It's about fashion rather than ideology.
Definitely, you see all sorts of people just walking around wearing different kind of clothes. Some people wearing smart casual, there's people wearing a lot of branded clothing, just a lot of, it's not, I wouldn't say it's as extreme as it was back then.
Like you can wear like different clothes, but still listen to different kind of music, so you could be wearing a suit and listen to dubstep kind of thing. But back in the day, maybe they had like a specific way of dressing for the specific genre of music kind of thing.
Yeah, the subcultures were kind of very distinctive. They were like, if you were a rock and roll kind of person.
Dress like that.
You're just
Yeah.
like that very much.
Now we don't really have to do that.
Yeah, you don't see as many people dressing as extreme as you would.
I think it's still the same. I still think that there has to be a sense of personal identity. I think that's a lot of what it is. That, you know, kids, when you're growing up, you have to feel like you belong to something, and, you know, particular subcultures, you know, sort of apply better to some than others, and I think that's why it still happens. I think it's changed only because there are different things available now. Changes, I think it's only changes because of what's been more readily available, like the iPad generation or the iPod generation. You know, I think it's just, maybe it's technological advances that have changed particular ways in which, or things that people are attracted to in their own spare time.